In today's show, we have another multi-topic episode where first we discuss, is a cyber brothel the future of sex? And then we discuss, has America now become a fascist state?
And now, the TNT Talk Show, daring to go where other podcasts fear to tread.
Hello, I'm Tony Fasulo, and I share the stage with my esteemed friend and colleague, Daya Boya. Daya, hello, my friend, once again. I hope you keep safe and well, and...
Hi, audience. Ignore Tony for the meantime. So anyway, question time with Tayo.
Okay.
Are we surprised that people say they want realism, but they pay more when parts from a model have taken away things that make them more realistic? And
Hey?
the reason, so the reason I'm
You'll have
asking
to
the question,
explain that. Come closer to your mic, because you keep
my
going
God.
backwards.
well, it's because I had my face actually stuck in my screen. Okay, there we
Okay.
go. How's that?
That's better.
Our topic today, which you'll explain in a moment, made me think about sex robots
Okay.
for men. So, female body type robots for men. The thing is, if you get a model where you can switch off the sound, it's more expensive than one that talks. So if you can get it to stop talking, and
That
and
is
apparently
terrible.
men are prepared to pay a premium. It's just because the cheaper models, you can't turn off the sound. Damn thing keeps talking. It's like, I thought, shut up. If I wanted something. So it's made me ask myself this question. These are things about humans. Do you agree with me? We say we want authenticity as long as it doesn't challenge us. We say we want honesty as long as it doesn't criticize us. And we say we want realism as long as it doesn't make us feel uncomfortable. True or false?
Well, yes, there's an element of that. It's a
Yeah.
bit like you want, I don't know, you want something to happen. You want new houses to be built, but not in your neighborhood. It's that sort of attitude where, yes, we would like all these nice things, but when push comes to shove, we just want to be comfortable, have our
Sure
own
thing.
house, food, etc. I get that. Now, I must apologise to our wonderful audience and thinking, what is Tyre on about? Is he giving a game away of something?
Oh, no, sorry. Don't forget. Now I have to ask our audience to please remember to subscribe. And today, I would like to say that I'd like to, first of all, tell him thank you very much. I've heard again from Mr. Frederick Thistlethwaite. I don't know why you're laughing at that poor chap. Oh, why are you laughing at that? Mr. Thistlethwaite says his pal subscribed to the TNT Talk Show recently. And it says here within the last week or so. And this is, do you know when you talk about synchronicity in the universe, how things synchronize?
Yeah.
This is totally shocking. His pal, who has recently subscribed to the TNT Talk Show, finds that merely a stone's throw from his house, there's a new CyberBrothel opening up. Now, we're not saying there's a connection, but we're not saying that either, if you catch my drift. So who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, why don't you give it a shot? Subscribe to the TNT Talk Show, and you never know what might be opening up just around the corner from you. A good one. Thank you.
Tyre has given away twice one of the topics we're going to talk about today. Now, obviously, time permitting, but if Tyre keeps going on about this, we're only going to get one topic done. But hopefully, it's a multiple topic show. But we're starting off with what Tyre's already alluded to. Is a cyber brothel the future of sex? Now, this was one of mine. Yep. Do you want to explain to our audience?
I don't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. I think this is one for you and Mr. Frederick Thistlethwaite, to be honest.
Okay. Let me explain first off for our listeners and viewers out there who haven't a clue what this cyber brothel is. Well, basically, it was a term that was used for physical locations where people could go and rent hyper realistic silicon dolls. And some of them used to be called Lumi dolls. They're no longer around. And
What?
Lumi dolls.
Lumi
Dolls. That was the name
How
of
do you
the
spell
original
that?
ones. Lumi dolls.
Ah.
That was what they used to be called. They're no longer available. And this cyber brothel, which was called in Berlin, they've morphed now. I mean, if you thought that was new and you'd never heard of it, it's actually morphed again because it's evolved into a hybrid system now. Whereas before they were physical locations that you could go to, and instead of engaging in sex with humans, you had these realistic dolls. Now it's become a mix of hardware and software. Now you've got AI powered, they're called companion dolls, and they're life size dolls, and they're quite complicated, they're very expensive, but they also have, the difference this time, they have an AI brain in them. And the reason for that is so that the doll remembers past interactions with the person who's bought the doll, the owner, and adapts to the personality of the user. So the AI knows what the person has done and offers more of the same. And these are companion dolls now. Now, there are still concepts of this cyber brothel, but they're now called virtual reality brothels, which are slightly different. And what that is, it's like a red light district, for instance, of a particular area. And you can go to these clubs now, either physically or away from home, and you can engage in sexual encounters using haptic feedback outfits. And these have got a special term called teledildonics. And so you wear them and you plug them in effectively. And what they do is they pressure different parts of your body. And you can get some that just cover your arms, some that cover your whole body, which are very expensive. And these, you engage in someone on a screen, but the responses from the person on the screen, which again is an AI generated visual encounter, it then responds back to the suit or the clothing that you're wearing, and pressures, little pumps work in the material, pressing and rubbing on your skin, so you feel the actual sensation of the encounter, even though it's all virtual. And so, yeah, this is what the cyber brothels, in quotes, were or are, because they're still around, but less physical locations now. And we're asking the question, are they the future? What's your view?
Well, from your description, I think those of you who can see my face because you're watching the video will see that I'm less than impressed. I'm actually sounds pretty disgusting, to be honest with you.
Well, is it just a stage further from pornography?
Yeah, well, pornography, I mean, let's put it like this, okay? Pornography is you and yourself. Hopefully, you like yourself and you're handy, if you catch my drift. I mean, even for women, I suppose, yes, hands are involved in things like this. But it's all very sort of traditional, if you like. So making love to what is essentially an advanced massage chair is is something else. Because you've got those massage chairs. I've always hated them, by the way. You know, the ones that you get in malls where they say you put some money and it'll give you a massage.
Yeah.
And it just feels like these horrible little balls just creeping around on your back. So
I like them.
Maybe I'm projecting and I don't like them. Just feels, artificial and yucky and everything. So, and what I'm going to climb into is suit. Who cleans these suits? Who was the last person wearing this? And look, how much is this?
Hold on. There's people that pay money that go to real brothels. That's surely that's worse. Because
No,
you're
I
actually
assume-
interacting with a flesh and blood person.
But you use a raincoat, don't you, so to speak?
You what, sorry?
You use a raincoat, if you catch my drift. For little
Yeah,
John
I know,
Thomas.
but the same with these. These are clean, they're disinfected. It's not a nasty thing. It's actually quite well run, and the idea behind it is to stop any STI, sexually transmitted.
How would
illnesses.
you clean it, disinfect it properly? I mean, unless I don't know how it works, but I'm thinking of a full bodysuit that goes over everything.
I
And then
think those you have to purchase yourself.
Well,
You can't
okay.
rent those. But
Okay,
the ones in
so-
the stock, in the ones in the places like that, are just small parts, I believe, that go
Okay,
either on
so
your
if you
hands.
get the full bodysuit, you've got to buy that.
You got to buy that. Yeah.
Okay, so here's my problem with that, okay? I am the kind of person who puts things off all the time. So
Okay.
you can imagine that if I were to, let's say, finish on a Wednesday, and I should have cleaned it up on Wednesday night,
That's your problem, though.
by Saturday,
That's terrible.
when I'm in a hurry, I just be like, yeah, I don't know, I didn't really clean it up last time. I don't know what the state of business is going to be like now. I can't exactly call your local laundry and say, look, I got this little project for you. They'll be like,
Look,
don't send any of the young girls around to Mr. Boyer's house because we don't know what the hell is going on with that guy. Anyway, I'm being facetious. And by the way, he's got this partner called 24/7. So don't go around there either.
Hey, I don't partake in any
They're
of this
thick,
stuff.
they're thick like this, man. So whatever you do, I like the TNT dodgy talk show.
No.
Well, anyway, thank God you said I'm not the one who came up with this topic. Look, I think this is the problem. Okay, so on a serious level, right? Okay, where there's money to be made, money will be made.
Yes.
And
It's a huge business already.
well, really,
Yes, already. I was gobsmacked by the price.
I thought it just started up a couple
Well,
of
exactly,
months ago.
exactly. The global sex tech market in 2026 is valued at approximately $50.58 billion.
Oh, hang on, that's because of the women. No,
Well,
that's
it
not,
just says
that's
the
not what we're
global
talking
sex
about.
tech market.
Yeah, that's got to do with vibrators and things. That's huge. That was already like, I think it was already like 28, 30 billion.
It was,
At the end of the
it was.
noughties
But,
or the
but the
90s.
VR bit of it is 19 billion. So the
Really?
virtual reality part of that market size is 19 billion. So yeah, you're right. The majority of it is 30 billion is probably the current market size, but the VR bit is 19 billion.
Wow.
So it is a
Talk
big
about a
business
growth
already.
industry. So talk
Oh,
about investing your
it's-
money in stocks and
it's
stuff.
huge. It's huge because let's be honest, the sexual part of our being is an animalistic thing, and most people engage in it because it's almost like the body wanting it in some degree. Now, not everybody, of course, but majority of people do, in whatever form it takes. Now, all these companies are doing, setting this up, are, as you've said, they are trying to make money from it and are succeeding in doing so. So it's going to only get bigger as the technology improves. And with the AI part of it, there are additional elements to these things because it's no longer just a physical thing. And this is the worry. There's pros and cons to this.
I know where you're going with this. Okay, go on.
Yeah. The AI part is the challenge. They
I thought
believe-
AI companies. So, okay, do you want to finish saying what you're saying? Because I'm guessing you're going to talk about the fact that there's companionship now.
Yes.
And that men are finding.
it morphs into
yes.
companionship, not just a synthetic, release, so to speak, like you would in a brothel or equivalent today. You're now not only are you engaging in a sexual manner with this thing, there's also now starting to be an emotional connection.
But this is a big thing in Japan, isn't it? This is a big thing in Japan. They've got girlfriends on their phones, and this is the men. They've got girlfriends on their phones, the AI girlfriends on their phones, and they're happy. And they're happy in the way that that they say they don't have the sort of emotional burden that they would with an actual woman. And the AI does what it's told to do, which is to be pleasant and non-aggressive and not nagging and all sort of things. And it's just something peaceful and nice that they can come back to at the end of the day, in the evening, and spend some time with it. And my initial thought is, if that makes the person happy, they're not out there causing issues. I mean, it's not good for the birth rate, but
No.
women have got to compete, I guess, if they want anything. And maybe the women themselves. Here's the thing. I'm going to jump ahead, not jump. I'm going to segue a little bit. I haven't asked the question. How do women approach this? Does it work for them too?
It does, apparently.
Oh, fine. So if both parties are happy, what's the problem?
Well, the problem that's already manifested is that it's causing AI relationships to take over from messy human to human relationships.
Okay, and?
But that means there's now becoming a disconnect between men and women. As you've rightly already pointed out, it's no good for the birth rate because the actual skills in order to communicate and effectively get on with the opposite sex is disappearing rapidly because people are choosing this frictionless AI
Probably
relationship.
that's a good word to use, but okay.
Yeah, because it's not, you don't get problems with AI because the AI.
You're not telling me against the idea.
No,
Actually,
I know.
I'm beginning-
At the moment, I'm
beginning to say,
talking about
look over
about
my
the
shoulder and ask my wife.
positives. The problem is it's creating a bit of a challenge too, because most of the AI partners, be they male or female, depending on the individual, they're designed, listen to this, they're designed to be sycophantic. So what's happening is they're hooking the users emotionally because they're
Money.
doing what the user wants. They're not creating any controversy. They're not arguing. Because if you argue with your AI, you're not going to go back to your AI, and that's not the purpose of it. The purpose is to draw you in so it does what you want it to do. And so it's becoming sycophantic, and your emotions, the person who's dealing with it, is always dealing with someone who is in agreement, wants to do their bidding. And this actually creates a problem because that's not how society is. You're going to encounter people in a workplace, day to day, that there's going to be friction there. And you have to know how to deal with it and understand some of the time, well, most of the time, it's not actually personal.
Why would you have to know how to deal with it? Here's an idea for AI companies if they're listening, and I suppose they are listening. I mean, it is the TNT talk show after all. But here's an idea. Why don't you create AI negotiators so that it helps people in ordinary everyday life to negotiate when they meet somebody that they find difficult. So the AI can do it for you. And by the way, isn't that where we were going at one time with what was that? We did this show on dating apps.
Yes.
And if you remember, we spoke about one particular app where you had AI valets.
Yes.
And it turned out that two individuals would be meeting and dating online through their AIs before even they got involved.
Yeah.
Which I thought was ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. That is just stupid. The
So,
AIs did the introduction. The AIs did the talking, arranged everything, and the people just rocked up. What?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's hilarious.
how would that work? I mean, that's just ridiculous. He goes, "Who are you?" Oh, I don't know. I've just been told to come here.
No, I suppose what you do is you'd actually, before you actually went to meet up, you would go through the AI's conversation. That's what I suppose you do.
Yeah, but without being there, but you're knowing that the AI is conversing with the other person's AI.
But if it's a reasonable facsimile, if it's a faithful facsimile of what the
Yeah,
other
but
person
it
would
is
have
not, is
said,
it? That's the whole point of offloading it, because it's not a real one. It's doing the work for you because it's better at doing it than you. So the individual that you end up meeting is not a facsimile of the AI. It's actually
no,
less.
sorry, you're wrong. It wasn't because it was better. It was because the individuals involved were executive people in the C-suite, executives, and they were very busy.
That's not
And
how it's working. What's
and
happening is that people who are being lazy are using the valet. They can't be bothered and they don't have the skill set. Well, I'll let my valet do the introduction. They're better at it than I am, so I can just rock up. So they are delegating that responsibility to the AI, to the valet, in order to do the conversation rather than them doing it. So you might as well argue the point, well, when you rock up, bring your AI with you.
that's why
Put
I'm
two
laughing.
phones on the table and they can talk together.
That's why I'm laughing. I just imagine a woman. I mean, obviously, your dear wife might not like this little thing I'm going to say because I'm assuming. Okay, this is before you met her. Okay, so I'm just imagining this. All this was happening in an alternate universe that's CERN had gone and jiggled into existence, and Tony isn't married in that alternate universe, and he goes off to one of these AI meetings, one of these meetings, and the woman is sitting there going, "You're nothing like your AI, man." That's it. Are you sure? Are you sure you got the right table? Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure your AI said you look like Brad Pitt. That's not what I've got.
yeah. It's not even that. Just like I don't know. There's something like I don't know about you.
Do you know what's
What?
really funny? That is exactly what happens now anyway with the current dating apps where
Wow.
people use, like I think you brought it up before, where they use filters, they use different
Oh my gosh.
lighting, and so they present themselves, and when the person does eventually meet you, you're nothing like the image that you portrayed, or you put up an image of yourself 20 years ago. So you're
Yeah.
20 years younger and you rock up and you're, you know,
The worst example of that. I know it's taking us away from our topic a little bit. The worst example of that was a Korean man, and this is real life, by the way. I can find it. A Korean man who met this woman online. They had a relationship, yada yada, blah blah blah. Got married, had a kid. The guy sort of looked at the kid and thought, "This kid is ugly." And
ugly.
as
The
yeah,
kid is
ugly.
ugly.
The kid, yeah. And as the kid grew older, I'm talking about still a baby,
Yeah.
months, said, "There's no way someone like me, because he was very particular about looks.
Okay.
There's no way someone like me and someone like you could have a baby like this."
So what? She'd had an affair.
No, she'd had plastic surgery and hadn't what is the word? Shared that fact with him.
So she'd had plastic surgery,
Looked
looked
beautiful
brilliant,
from yeah,
but obviously when she had a kid, she's still ugly.
yeah, yeah. And the guy got a divorce. He got an actual divorce.
No.
He
What?
divorced
Because
her.
the baby was ugly.
Well, I suppose because she hadn't been straightforward and honest with him.
That's
He wouldn't have
ridiculous. I'm
married her. Look,
sorry.
he wouldn't have married her if he wouldn't have
Hold on.
married her.
A bloke's marrying someone who he sees then and there. What do you mean he wouldn't marry her? Well, you look like this as a child. I'm not marrying you. That's just
That's his.
shallow.
Well, yeah, but that's his right, though, isn't it? So anyway, and it really happened. It's an actual bona fide thing that happened. Anyway, so this when we're talking about AI and having a cyber brothel, I it's changed. You've changed my understanding of it. I thought it was a place you went to, but now that you've said it, it could be online.
It is online, a lot of it now. There's less
So it's not even a
need.
place.
No, well, yes, it's
I
an
mean,
online virtual place.
yeah,
You can go physical. There are places that are linked to it physically
yeah. The one in
because
Berlin is supposed to be, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, an
yeah. But
actual
you turn up because you
cyber
don't have the.
cafe.
Yeah, it's like a cafe, but you go into a room and it's put goggles on and clothes on. So it's a specific place. Now, if you don't want to go to places like that, you can buy the products
Just at
online
home.
yourself. Yeah, and so you're at home on your computer, and yeah, you do it from home.
I don't see. So what's the topic again? What's the question?
The topic is a cyber brothel the future of
It
sex?
sounds like it because the what are those facts about America? That by 2030, I should look it up. By 2030, X number of men are going to be single, and X number of women too. And it's a lot more. I think it's going to be like 50 something percent of men are going to be single, and 20 something, 30 something percent of women are going to be single too. And this is to say persistently single and not necessarily something like they want to be single. And like you said, sex is a natural urge. And you can't if you can't satisfy it with a real person safely, because let's be honest, one thing about a cyber cafe is no one's going to get pregnant.
No,
You're not going to have all that stuff, daddy issues, baby issues, and whatever.
no
Then it just
diseases.
makes no diseases, and it's all in the comfort of your home anyway. So I can't see how it's not going to be. I can't see how it's not going to, depending on price. If it becomes prohibitively expensive because the software is expensive, because I think one page of AI uses one bucket of water or something like this. Is it one prompt uses a
No, I
bucket of
think it's
water?
more than one prompt. But it's a lot. It's a lot of water
It's a
just to
lot.
cool.
Just to
If they
cool
could
this.
find a better way of cooling the data centers, then you wouldn't have this issue. But it's the cooling that's the problem
Well, not to
because they're
mention
running
the
hot.
power consumption.
Yeah, the power consumption and the cooling is the issue with the data centers.
So if you think about everybody sort of rushing home to hook up with the AI, that's going to be quite a drain on the economy. Well, yeah, on the infrastructure, and
Infrastructure side.
I wonder how that's going to work.
There
That
is,
might.
I mean, we're in a fledgling environment. Let's be honest. The
Hmm.
AI is a relatively new thing. It's not a mature technology by any means. The whole industry is new. It's a bit like the mobile phones when they first came out. They were all different. It was all unique. It was all wow, whoa, whoa. Now it's
Yeah.
matured. You get the same slate every year. You get a few variations, but it's pretty much the same. It's stable. It works. We know what it does. It's got bells and whistles. It's done. The same, the same with what we said here, and we're saying this AI. Yes, it's expensive at the moment, but the price will come down once they figure it out and they can get economies of scale. Blah de blah. So this cyber sex, if you want to call it that, that uses the AI is it's just an element, an area that's using the AI as its underpinning. Let's put it that
Hmm.
way. And the actual tools themselves. I'll tell you what something is interesting too, is that some of these places have offered a setting which has already been outlawed by the British government. Because, yes, some manufacturers have included a consent refusal setting.
What?
A consent refusal setting in
Who's refusing?
the dolls. The idea
Why?
being is that they are. It's actually been banned in the UK. So if anybody has these settings in these AI dolls, it's against the law because the AI doll has been programmed to resist, but not to resist, so that the person can be dominant over it. So it's a fantasy of domination, and the AI actually understands that and will refuse the consent to sort of enhance the domination facility part of it. Now, the government, the British government, for instance, have actually already made it a criminal offence for non-consensual settings if they're enabled on AI dolls and software.
Okay, so I find that ridiculous. That's really stupid. That's just projecting further than that further than is logical. That is the equivalent. We're going to talk about this very shortly, by the way. What is fascism? I think this is the equivalent of living in a fascist society. The difference being this: in a normal society, you're told what you can't do. In a fascist society, you're told what you can't think. And that's very dangerous because thinking is a natural right. You were born with the ability to think, and no one can control what you think. And to try to control it is being fascist. If you can get people who do have these very negative impulses, if you can get them to safely discharge those impulses in a controlled environment away from real women and men, I'd have thought that was a win situation. It's only when you can turn around and point to a body of solid evidence that what you're actually doing is like a starter drug or something, that you're getting them going, and that eventually they'll break out and want to harm real people. You know how they say when you watch a little child torturing an animal, you can tell where this child is going as an adult. But you need data to prove. You can't just sort of guess. So it's really early days, and it's also really stupid because the people making these laws are idiots, and they don't understand that you can hook up to other people in other countries where it's not, and that you can't stop it. So
No,
since
but
you
I
can't
think they're
stop it,
doing it in the UK because I think that at the moment it's linked. This is the grey area of the whole bill, and it's obviously an evolving thing, and I suspect it'll be changed very soon again. That was created when, if you're creating an AI model, whether it's a doll, whether it's a video, whether it's an image, if it has a resemblance to a real person, then you're committing a crime.
no, that makes sense because you don't own that person's image.
Indeed. But if it even sort of resembles them, it's still a crime. So
That would be a matter of degree.
indeed. So you could that's where it would have to end up in court if that was the case. So it's very difficult, and I dare say it's a evolving law that will be updated as discoveries have made on how AI and the creation of these dolls and partners evolves, and the law is just one step behind the technology. But
The law has limits. I'd like to ask a question here. This,
sure.
again, it's a little outside the envelope. But here, let's say that you're a judge and you're hearing a case of matrimonial something or the other, some kind of how do you say that word? Matrimonial?
Matrimony.
No, matrimonial.
Okay,
Matrimonial.
matrimonial. Yeah,
Yeah.
a case along those
Kerfuffle,
lines.
okay? So they're
Okay.
not asking for a divorce, but they have come to the court and the woman is complaining. She says, look, I want the court to do something. I want the court to intercede here and intervene on our behalf. Because do you agree, Your Honor, that I look a bit like Scarlett Johansson? And you go ahead and look at it and go, yeah, actually, I look remarkably like Scarlett Johansson. So, well, I don't mind. My name's actually Marie. But my problem is that every time I'm making love, it goes Scarlett. And that's been going on for you. And I told him I don't like it because he's not making love to me. He's making love to someone else.
Right.
Now, the court, law and whatever, doesn't it have a limit as to where it can intervene?
Yeah.
You understand the woman is actually being, I want us to both agree that in this case, the woman has got she's got a legitimate gripe.
Yeah.
But that gripe doesn't translate to a legitimate right to have the law intervene.
No, the law shouldn't intervene in
So
that.
an AI that looks a bit like, or maybe even a lot like Scarlett Johansson. Scarlett Johansson may have a gripe, but does she have a legitimate recourse to the law? Do you see what I'm
Well,
trying to
yes,
say?
because the image is you are your image, aren't you? And you really should have rights to you, what you look like.
But there's six
Especially,
doppelgangers to every human.
well,
Supposedly.
there are. I get
Yeah.
that, but imagine you. I mean, I'll give your case example. Use you as an example as you're here. Let's say there was somebody who liked you and thought, "Oh, Tyre's hot, man. He's
But I know lots of people who like me.
okay." No,
But I don't know anyone who thinks I'm hot.
no, but imagine somebody did who thought that, but they decided,
Get in touch.
okay, they decided to create an AI version of you because you're hot, right? Now they're doing things to you, right? Yeah, exactly. Your AI image. Now it's not you, but it's your AI image. And other say they happen to share it. Oh, this is my hero. I love him. Blah blah blah. I'm showing it to other people, and it looks like you, even though it isn't you. It's just an image. You would start to think, oh, this is not. I feel uncomfortable here because they're using my image in a sexual manner that I'm not that comfortable with, especially if there's guys and girls. You know, do you see what I mean? It can be a bit weird.
I don't think you know your friend Tyler well enough. I don't think you know me well enough at all. If I were to find that out, I'll be saying, how much money are we talking about exactly? How much is it of my money that you're spending?
Oh dear.
No, okay, so who are you selling? If you're selling a Johansson lookalike as Johansson, that's an issue. If you're selling Johansson lookalike as a Johansson lookalike, those are the breaks. Because there are women in real life who go and make themselves look like her and other people.
Yeah,
they make themselves look like that. What are you going to do? It's do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you could say, okay, it's not Johansson, it's this other actress or person who happens to look a lot like her, but we've already paid her, $5,000 and she's happy with it.
Yeah, but it's
There's
IP.
a
It's when
limit.
intellectual property limits. Yeah, they come and go, and it's a minefield. Let's put it that way.
It is a minefield. So that aspect, I think if we can limit injuries to, if we can limit the violent impulses, sexual impulses of people to inanimate objects, I don't think we should worry about it. Unless we show, and it can be shown objectively, that in a double-blind experiment and that sort of thing, all the proper study, that actually letting them do that leads to them wanting to do it in real life.
Right.
What I'm hoping and expecting is it's the opposite. That once you found your little niche, it's like saying having an AI girlfriend makes you want to go out and get a real girlfriend. I don't think so. I think you'd have found the exact set of circumstances you need and you're happy. And by the way, before I let you sort of jump in, I'm going to very quickly say what I found. I found that by 2030, according to Morgan Stanley, okay, 2019 report by Morgan Stanley, by 2030, 44% of all U.S. women will be unpartnered, living without a spouse or partner. And for men, it will be up to 59% of young men under the age of 30. 59%.
Whoa.
So,
That's terrible.
where are we headed?
It's not ideal. Before we move on to another subject very quickly, I want to leave you with this one interesting angle that we haven't considered yet. Because you're marrying AI with a lot of this technology, you're actually allowing the AI companies to get data harvesting on your sexual quirks. Let's say, you have a fetish for a particular type of thing. You can relive it in the AI world and create avatars or things like that mimic your desires. But because AI is involved, it's having to store and remember that data. Now, you're now giving a third party your inner sexual fantasies that may not have been available to anyone before. So are they emotionally data harvesting? Let's be honest, they're collecting all this data from different people's quirks, and they can see all these quirks that people have. And somebody somewhere will be visible. Maybe not identify the individuals, but certainly get a group collective and go, well, actually, we have got X amount of heterosexual people, or it's actually lower than we expected because they look at gay images or transsexual images or whatever it is. Do you see what I mean? So they're now harvesting that data, which is strange, especially when you're creating a perfect AI partner bot or avatar or whatever you want to call it, which is your AI perfection partner. And that partner will never be found in real life. So as you've rightly said, if you've created an AI partner that meets all your needs in any sexual position, any sexual desire, you can't find that in the human world. So you're not going to be wanting to go and find a real partner if you're getting your perfect partner in this AI bubble, I
I think it'll be
suppose.
fine. I think it'll be fine. Just means that the Amish people will multiply and take over in the end, because they don't do that sort of thing. Also, I just had this thought, which I'm going to end with. I just had this thought, and it's a Star Trek thing. Okay, so I'm just imagining that a Starfleet, sorry, a Federation ship has just been defeated by the Klingon Empire. Okay, and one of these strong Klingons is walking around, and his Klingon, his mask is like, "Ugh." And then he goes, "Watch this," and it says the holodeck, and then he goes into the holodeck, and then about 5 minutes later, comes back and he says, "We gotta leave." I've just seen their fantasy. I've just seen what they call fun. I tell everybody, let's get the hell out of here,
Out of
man.
here.
These humans are yeah. Believe me, we ain't got nothing. We don't even want to conquer them. We just don't want any. We just don't come to us.
leave.
We will come to you. Yeah. And then all through the universe, they'll be saying, "Oh, and there's this galaxy in the Milky Way. There's the intelligent life form there."
I want to, before we go on to our next topic, very quickly, I want to leave you with this. I think a real partner is like a window for you. They show you the world outside of you. They show you differences that you may not be aware of, and that they're a window, so you can see other stuff. Whereas if you have a cyber partner or AI, they're like a mirror, because they're just going to show you what you want to see.
I see what you're saying.
Do you see what I mean?
Interesting.
And then in that way, you just get, you get in 24/7 standing ovation, because they're never going to criticize you. They're always going to encourage you and make you feel great, and you don't get that real life controversy that you need. So you could end up having, I don't want to use the derogatory term, you get simp people, because they
Women
don't
will
know.
like it.
Sorry?
Women will like it. Women will like it.
Well, you can remember, you can tailor the partner on how you want.
Women don't know what they want.
Well, they'd have to constantly change it, which gives you that ability. But what the point is, the partner can change, whereas in real life,
I predict
a partner
now.
can't.
I
Go on.
predict now. Two things are going to happen. It's going to become very popular with men, and while society is still gynocentric, it's not going to last much longer, I think. But whilst it is still gynocentric, there will be a very strong backlash against it from the women, insisting that we control it, because actually women won't be able to won't not able. Women won't like it. It won't work for them, because the whole idea about, from a woman's point of view, is validation. But if she's constantly validated, that's not going to work, because she also needs to come up against a non-validation. So she changes, and it's the men who challenge her, and it's a natural sort of instinctual thing, and that's the problem. So I'm guessing, and I'm predicting it now in 2026, it's not going to work for them.
Okay, well, that's a new, something that's on the horizon. We'll see how that develops. But yeah, I haven't got a right or wrong answer on this as an
No, there
opinion.
isn't
I
one,
think
is
it's just, it is what it is. It's going to keep moving
It's
on and
technology.
one way over there.
It's a brand new world.
Absolutely. Right, we've got time for another topic, and this one is another one of mine, and I wanted to directly ask you, because you've got concerns about this too, but is the USA, has it now become an actual fascist state? What's your view?
First of all, I've already touched on this. Maybe I shouldn't have, but it's really important that we first define
Define.
what is a
Right.
fascist state.
Okay.
Because a lot of people nowadays use fascism rather than authoritarianism, which is two separate things. It can be an authoritarian state without being a fascist state.
Do you want to, for our listeners and watchers, explain the difference between the two?
Okay. An authoritarian state controls behavior, what you're allowed to do. Don't hit other people. It's a state. It's an objective thing. So you hit someone else, it's assault, and you can get done for assault in the court of law. In a fascist state, a fascist state controls behavior and belief. So their supreme leader is the rightful leader and is unchallengeable. Not only can you not behaviorally say, I don't want this man or woman to be my leader, or disagree with their leader, you can't even think it. There must be no external sign that this is your internal state of mind. So, for example, when their leader delivers a speech and you're not on your feet, clapping happily, that is a strong signal that internally your belief system is wrong, and then you get sent to re-education camps. That is why fascist states have re-education camps. And then finally you have a free society that tries not to control either behavior or belief. But it's you can't be totally free, because your freedom ends where other people's freedoms or human rights anyway start.
So, is it a better term to say? I mean, I don't think, therefore, that you've explained that well. Fascist USA isn't fascist, but are they transitioning to an authoritarian regime?
Well, I think that the strong reasons to be very worried about where we're headed. And one of them, when you're talking about belief systems, which are externally stated, if you remember, just a few years ago, it seems like we're a nightmare period of time where the technology companies were very, very strict as to what you could say on gender issues. And if you were saying things like a man cannot breastfeed, you get yourself into hot water. That was definitely trading towards what you are allowed to think. And I think at that point, we were teetering on the edge. And I'm not sure we're all the way back, but one of the very, very, very few things that Donald Trump has done well is to come back and to push against that. And we're back from the edge of the abyss, which I think we'd have crossed into had Kamala Harris become president.
Okay. So, but do you think that there's suppression and authoritarian tendencies in the current administration in the USA?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I don't think it's as bad as it is here in the UK, which is pretty bad. But I think yes, there's the American experience is weird because it is not so much about the control of society for governmental authority, but control of society and what it thinks for intelligence, for security reasons, that ultimately, strangely, do not reflect back on authority of government, but on security of wealth. Do you see what I'm saying?
So you're saying that they're obsessed with wealth security,
Yes.
as opposed to the security of the nation as
The nation
Really?
exists to protect the wealth of the wealthy individuals.
not for the general Joe public.
Don't care about the general Joe public. Don't give a rat's. They don't give a rat's about the general Joe public. The
What about
oligarchs.
what about the problems with the press? Because I know this administration in the US didn't want the press to report on using unauthorized material, as far as their terms were, even if it was unclassified. They actually were saying that they should only use authorized material, which was provided by them. Hold on, isn't that authoritarian? Because the media and the press has to be a free press to report on what they see fit. How can they be hamstrung or hangstrung to only put out authorized material from central government? That is an authoritarian
Absolutely.
system.
Well, not only that, it's trending towards fascism at that stage.
That is, yeah.
But here's the thing. The argument used was what? Security.
Yeah.
See? So it's always a security thing, but ultimately, when you trace it back, it's not security, it's protection of wealth, because the narrative truly matters. However, America is very lucky so far. I'm not sure they'll be lucky all the time, but so far they're very lucky in the separation of government. So that, give an example, Trump and his tariffs,
Yep.
that was stopped by the Supreme Court.
The judiciary is supposed to be separate from the executive. Yeah.
It's even, well, it's always even here in the UK, but it is what it is here. But actually, the Supreme Court stepped in and did something unexpected and wonderful, I suppose, in stopping the overreach of the executive.
Although he's now publicly lambasted them and put them in the public eye, and almost saying that they're treasonable because they voted against him. They don't love America. Isn't that cause for concern that the president is actually lambasting the rule of law? No one is above the law. So if they voted in that manner based on the law itself, because that is the whole point of them being there, then he can't now denigrate the actual individuals who came up with that conclusion. He's now saying they're anti-American, they're trying to damage America, and surely that's not right.
Well,
So that's an authoritarian figure. They're
well, the president himself is, let's be honest, fascist. let's be sincere, man. The man is fascist. However, the fact he's getting away with it, but isn't he maybe getting away with it for now? I think that the midterms come along, the way things are going, the Republicans are going to get a drubbing.
Oh yeah, I think so.
The Democrats will probably take both houses.
Yep.
And all these things that he said and done now, I believe will strongly come back to haunt him.
Oh, totally.
Because if he
impeached
is
again,
impeached, it's just going to be, there's not going to be, I mean, you've insulted the people who are going to be sitting in the Supreme Court. Isn't it? It's just the Supreme Court that hears the case, isn't it?
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, yeah, you were calling us treasoners just a few months ago, pal. So he certainly wasn't sort of thinking down the line. He doesn't really do 2 or 3 steps down, further on.
He's terrible. I mean, but the point is that the whole government now, the point is he has removed some independent people and put in loyalists. That is one of the first things that an authoritarian regime would do, because you don't want people criticizing your moves, your policies. You want loyalty. And he's put in absolute, we've used the term already earlier in the show, sycophants for his viewpoint. And they will not question him, even when they know he could be wrong, because they're sycophants. They deem him as an idol in such a way that they believe that he is the all-powerful, all-knowing, some oracle. And yeah, he's removed all these people that could have challenged him in positions of that have always been there, really. But he's put loyalists in, so everyone is giving him a yes answer. And I think, seeing as we're still in this Iran confrontation, they did not advise him accordingly, or if they did, he wouldn't listen because of his hubris. He's gone ahead and invaded Iran without a plan, and not a definite plan, because everyone around him, they're all loyalists. They're not going to challenge him. So this is an authoritarian regime with a kingmaker at the head who has made rash decisions now, and these will come back to bite him, in my opinion. But that still doesn't preclude the fact that I think the US is authoritarian, because they are now slowly reining in the freedoms that the people have been used to, because this administration is closing off those freedoms. And they're doing a lot of gerrymandering as well to try and up their votes, which is a dodgy thing as well. I know it's not illegal, but it's not ideal, is it? Because you don't trust in your policies, you don't trust in your direction, so you're gerrymandering in certain districts in order to up your votes. For the benefit of people who don't know what that means, do you want to explain what gerrymandering is?
Gerrymandering means to alter the borders of voting caches, voting areas, in such a way that it delivers the result. It delivers results that favor this or that entity, political entity, but usually a party. So if you can change borders in such a way that you make a very strong enclave, a powerful enclave that delivers, let's say here in the UK, an MP for one party, whilst weakening the other party, then what you've done is won the election through very dodgy, as Tony says, legal but extremely dodgy means.
Indeed. And what about this other thing about fascism, the voter list? Do you hear about this one?
Sorry, no. Before you do that, before this fascism, I want to say that America can't really become a fascist state right now, because a fascist state historically involves a single dominant enforced ideology. But the good thing about a two-party state is that there's always the opposite side. So when the Democrats were becoming fascistic with their gender issues, the Republicans have come along and stopped that. And now that Trump is becoming, well, I won't say Trump, sorry, the Republicans are becoming fascistic with an too overt intelligence stroke security sort of fascism, then the Democrats can come in and soften that. And as long as you've got that seesaw going along, it could be one of the very great benefits of a two-party system.
So would a better term be they're backsliding into authoritarianism rather than fascism?
I believe that's a very strong argument to make, and I don't think anybody can argue against it. It has become far more authoritarian than, let's say, the liberalism of the post-McCarthy era, with the civil rights era, where it seemed as if America was going to be leading the planet, the globe, into a golden age of liberal democracy. But I think the liberal democracy may have died on the 23rd of November, 1963, or whatever it was.
What, when Kennedy was killed?
Yes. I really think that was the end of that, to be honest. But then Johnson came in, and he wasn't a liberal Democrat at all.
No. I mean, granted, the elections are still there, we hope. The courts still function, but they're under heavy pressure and a heck of a lot of criticism from this administration, which is very strange. So they're putting political pressure on the courts, and that's not a good thing.
Who is? Who's putting political pressure on the courts?
The administration.
Okay. Yes.
So that's a given. They're doing that all the time. There is media suppression, not to the extent of it completely pushing it down, but they're doing lawsuits against the media companies to stop them doing stuff. I mean, should the executive be doing that against media companies because they don't like what they're saying?
not whilst they're busy lambasting Russia and saying that Russia doesn't have freedom of press or China doesn't have freedom of press. But you don't have freedom of press either. I mean, what the heck? Seriously. It's so peculiar. But I think even the idea that we had freedom of press, which was, let's say, true until, let's say, the 80s, early 80s. I think that's when we started losing freedom of press in the UK under Margaret Thatcher, I believe.
Why?
Well, because that is when press moguls started buying up the smaller press.
Ah,
See, when we had 500
independence,
different
yeah.
presses, independent, every voice was heard, and you couldn't say anything if this didn't publish it. Everybody would rush out and buy another newspaper, and because they were buying that other newspaper, they wouldn't be buying yours, and you'd lose money. So they bought the smaller newspapers to shut them up. We
But
haven't
that's
had
a
freedom of press.
problem because of commercialism, isn't it?
I don't know why
Very
companies are allowed
difficult.
to buy companies, to be honest.
Well, yeah. So you don't want the media outlets to be government owned. That defeats the purpose of them being there. But they should be independent from media moguls who own, many of them because
I
they
don't
can
think we
set
should
the
be allowed to
narrative.
be. I don't think anyone should be allowed to hold in any way. So this is why I don't like shell companies. So I don't. They've got to be when it comes to something like power generation and the media and other basic infrastructure, state infrastructural entities. There's got to be a different way of doing business. It can't be just business as normal, and we don't know who owns what. It's got to be owned,
Clear and transparent as well.
and you can't be shell company, nothing like that. We just got to know who owns it, and you can't even own more than, let's just say, 4 or 5% of the entire industry, and that's it. After that, if we find out, we'll just take it off you, and it's no longer yours, and you lose all your money.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting to the top of the hour here. So do you want to give a sum up? Do you think that America become a fascist state or authoritarian state?
America cannot become, as presently constituted, America cannot become a fascist state, but it can be and is becoming a highly authoritarian state. And people are really losing out on the fundamental human rights that they used to take as axiomatic. And that's really sad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't think it's fascist. I'm agreeing with you. But the tendencies of this administration are really bad. And,
Well done, man.
some of the things in decision making has been poor. They're not fit to govern, in my opinion. And they're trying to make it authoritarian. And my fear is if this war in Iran continues, could they use it as an excuse to stop the midterms? I don't know whether they can or not, but we shall see. If they do, then we know that we've lost them, and that's a really bad place for the US to be. But I'm hoping that good will prevail. The US people, who are a good bunch of people, the administration, the government level, the politicians not necessarily so, but the people themselves are a good bunch, and I hope they see fit and eventually see fit to get rid of this administration because they have been terrible for the American public. They've made small changes that have been beneficial, but by and large, in my opinion, most of the decisions have not benefited the American people. They've benefited rich billionaires in the top tier of society. But there you
What
go.
worries me is that the war in Iran will go very badly, and either Israel or America will resort to nuclear weapons. And if they do that, and then there's an uprising, let's say somewhere in America, I can't imagine Donald Trump saying, "Look, Delaware, you know what I did to the Iranians, man? Huh? Would you like to settle down or what?" I mean, okay, it's a bit of an out there thing, but it, this will definitely be an us and them situation. And you sent me something on the 24th of what was it, 2024.
Oh,
We
that
asked
was a
whether there'd be
show we covered. Yeah.
a civil war.
Before
It
before
could
Trump was
be
even voted in, we said if he gets voted in, would there be a World War Three? And I hope we're wrong,
a
but we
civil
did
war
look
or
back.
World War
Civil
Three.
War, World War Three, yeah,
And
in 2024.
I'm saying that if he tries to cancel the midterms, then quite frankly, yes, it was July
2024.
2024. If he tries to cancel the midterms, I think America could be in trouble, because if it only takes a few governors to say no and to call out the National Guard, and then issues.
Indeed. Yeah, we've gone from a government of laws to a government of loyalty. And
Yes.
that means that doesn't help.
And sometimes it has to be tested on the battlefield, unfortunately.
Okay, if you've loved this episode, hit subscribe and stay tuned for more deep dives into prophecies, mysteries, and the unexplained twists of fate. You've listened to Tony and Tayo, and we are the TNT Talk Show, but unfortunately we have reached the end of the show for another week.